All right, y'all, I got a serious question, man. What y'all think about if, like, say, for example, you at the store and you at Walmart and they got a radio on the shelf, but it's on the wrong spot and it's like $400 cheaper than where it should be. Are you gonna argue with them about it should be that price because it's right there, or you just gonna or should they take the loss or should you take the loss? If they make the mistake, should you take the mistake? I ask you that because we got this brother right here, Ronald Lamel. Right now he's in Houston, Texas. Well, he was in Houston, Texas. The man did 20 years in federal prison. That's right, 20 years in federal prison. Former President Joe Biden, salute to him, released that man on clemency on February the 9th. And on February the 23rd, the FBOP had the nerve to contact this man and tell this man that he had to turn himself back in because they made a clerical error and he was released too soon.
And see, where I'm from, you don't do that.
Now, y'all tell me what y'all think, but keep it locked. We're going to get into this and much more, man. Straight Shoota Podcast. Let's rock. All right, baby, I want to welcome y'all back. This is Straight Shoota Podcast on Maschine Mafia TV, and I'm your host, Swift Dollars, a.k.a. 16-Pad Killer, and this is a safe place for unbiased opinions based on facts, where we give it to you straight, no chase, all right? Hit that subscribe button, smash up the likes, and click that notification bell so you stay in the loop each and every time I drop one of these videos, so you stay in the loop and you know what's going on in the streets, fam, the world too, all right? So let's get right down to it, man. Like I said, this brother right here, Ronald Lamel, a Houston man who spent more than 20 years in prison on drug-related charges, was released after receiving clemency from former President Joe Biden, but has now been put back behind bars due to a clerical error. Yes, Ronald Lamel was convicted in 2005 for possession with an intent to distribute cocaine. He spent 20 years in prison, was granted the clemency from Biden's final days in office. The clemency order was part of a broader order addressing all the people that were incarcerated that were nonviolent drug charges, given way lengthy sentences that we all know were preposterous. And of course, it was happening to mostly the blacks and the Mexicans or Spanish or whatever you want to say, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, the man got released on February the 9th, February the 23rd, he was ordered by the FBOP after a phone call to immediately report back to prison because of their clerical error. Now, I know.
Y'all just don't want to believe the truth.
I know.
You don't want to believe it.
I don't either. But I don't know this family from a can of paint. I had a brother that did 12 years in the federal prison. I know how they move you all over the world. I know how they jerk you around. I know how they want you to give them every bit of time that they can get and every bit of money out of you. But that's just crazy, man. Like, I think the government should have just took that one on the chin. You know what? We let you out. We're going to let you out anyway. You know what I'm saying? I think they changed the halfway from, it used to be like 12 months, 6 months. Now it's like only 2 months, I believe. If I'm wrong, somebody drop it in the chat. Correct me. You know what I'm saying? But this is still just wild. I just don't see how.
That's stupid, guys.
I just don't see how the government can make that. And then just imagine, okay, if it was 2,500 people granted clemency, shout out to Gravedigger. He about to come home. He was on the clemency list. But if it was that many people on the list, just think about how many other clerical errors they might try to pull back. And now guess what? This is a new president in office. So who's to say if President Trump is going to honor anything that former President Joe Biden put into place? Hell, we already see Trump taking Obama pictures off the wall and hanging his own picture up. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Stop it. Y'all quit
I know
playing.
y'all might not want to hear it, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Get mad at me if you want. Too bad.
You know? But look, I want y'all to hear from the family. You know what I'm saying? Because he looked like the man got a bunch of children and grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? You let the man get out, taste his freedom. He outside trying to do the right thing. And you snatch his life away from him just like that when he didn't do nothing wrong. Y'all did something wrong. I think that's foul myself.
New at 10, a man who was reunited with family after 2 decades behind bars on a drug conviction was shocked when he was ordered to return due to a clerical error. Only on 13, our Pooja Lodia spoke to the man from prison tonight about how it happened and what comes next.
It's the kind of hug that comes after 20 years apart. Ronald Lemuel was released from prison in February.
They showing me how much they love me and all the time I done missing it's a good feeling, you know what I'm saying, to see that.
We reached Lemuel on the phone.
This call is from a federal prison.
Because he is back in prison. Brett Mayer is his attorney.
I've never heard of anything like this happening.
Back in 2005, Lemuel was caught with crack cocaine. He was already on probation for another crime and was sentenced to more than 20 years in prison. Then, this January, President Biden commuted the sentences of nearly 2,500 people with nonviolent drug convictions. Lemuel was on the list and scheduled to be released in July. He was surprised to be suddenly released in February, but his freedom only lasted for 2 weeks.
We're getting ready for him to move on to this next phase of his life. And then we find out that, nope, we need you to come back into the Bureau of Prisons. We weren't supposed to release you.
Now, before we go any further, just one quick question. Now, after y'all heard that story, yeah, he got caught for selling dope or whatever, okay. You gave him a sentence. He served it. Y'all released him. Now you ordered the man back, and he complied, because you see he back in the can. But is it right, though? Y'all drop it in the comments.
And at that point, it was shock. It was, what do you mean? You know?
But you gotta understand what it did to me. After 20 years, y'all let me out, let me go home, and then you called me 2 weeks later telling me it was a calculation on the sentence, so I got to come back in off of error. Y'all could have just ate that 4 months or at least left me out and kept me on the monitor or something.
Lemuel is now 41 years old, hoping he'll still be released in July.
We're concerned that something is going to pop up where that grant of clemency is not going to be honored.
They don't care. Like, we make a mistake, we can get away with it. We're the federal government. He got to come back. If he don't come back, we're going to put a warrant out for his arrest. Even though he did everything he was supposed to do when he got out.
I regret all them charges. You know, when I do come home, I'm done with that. I ain't going down that road again. I ain't. If it's up to me, I'll never come back here. My kids grew up without me, so being in my grandkids' life is important.
It's his family, 5 kids and 5 grandkids, that Lemuel thinks about now. For the past 20 years, this is the life he has dreamed about. Pooja Lodia, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
What a heartfelt story, man. You know, what a heartfelt story. You know, I don't know if they got any information up to, write or send a tag, but, you know, if I can help for my platform, I'm doing everything I can. You know what I'm saying? I hate it for that family because, hey, man, if he served his debt, you know what I'm saying, for them to come through and do that, that's just foul, man. That's just foul. If y'all think I'm wrong, y'all let me know, but I think that's foul, man. They like he said, they should have ate them 4 months. Or if they already put him out, why not just give him house arrest? Put him on the ankle monitor. Do something. Like, come on, man. Y'all gonna make the man go back to jail? Y'all see he got a place to stay, obviously. He got a family. You know, what's the deal? You know, what's the deal, man? You know, I just think that's just a slap in the face to us as a people. That just shows you, man, that we can't make no mistakes out here. We got to stay 10 toes down, but we also got to keep all eyes open. Ears too, mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. But y'all see what's going on, man. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Again, the family of Ronald Lemuel in Houston, Texas. My thoughts and prayers is out with y'all. If it's anything I can do to help y'all, hit me up on any one of them platforms that you see below. Send a DM, send a message, whatever. I'll blast it out until they get them out, all right? But y'all know what it is, man. Straight Shooter Podcast, Maschine Mafia TV. Let's go.